So the fact that people buy is not because they act like zombies and they just mindlessly go shopping. It's because advertising companies inform people of the benefits, the characteristics, the qualifications of the product that they are purchasing, and they make an informed decision. There you are, another IELTS candidate waiting to see what takeaways there are this time around on the IELTS Juice channel. Well, welcome to IELTS Juice. Let's start assessing one wonderful sample for today. Here's a fancy topic. Today, the high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising and not the real needs of the society in which they are sold. So basically, it's a modern thing, and we have a lot of consumer goods. It's just a fancy term for saying, yeah, people go shopping a lot. They buy a lot of things these days. And then why? Why do people buy a lot of things? Because not because they need them. It's not because they really actually need, uh, I don't know, you have a stove at home, you can cook. Uh, okay, then why do you need an air fryer? Or you might need a food maker. And then people go, I don't know, to shops to buy some other fancy equipment that they claim that they will prepare, for instance, the meat for you in a way that no other kitchen equipment can. Um, I don't know, I have nothing against those. Personally, I prefer the traditional methods, but that's me. That's just only one single opinion. There are many people who go out shopping for different items that they somehow, to some extent, do the same job. Anyway, the topic here says people shop not because they actually need that particular item. It's because the advertisement of that particular item was so convincing, was so powerful that they felt like, oh my God, if they can have their hands, lay their hands on that equipment, it will be just fantastic, or it will change their lives forever. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. That is the topic. One last point I want to mention is the word the society here. So it's very community based, this particular topic, I mean. It says you have a local advertisement for a local area, and they probably advertise a particular good or service, but in this case, it's mostly just about goods, not services. But in reality, we also have services. And then the people in that society tend to purchase that particular item. It's very important to, be mindful of that. So I analyzed the topic. I was able to get some little details from the first line. Let's look at the second line. To what extent do you agree or disagree with the statement? It's an opinion essay, something that the IELTS community calls it. But from the IELTS perspective, it has only one main idea. So it basically means, what do you think? Forget all the other 7,999,999,999 people on this planet at the time of uploading this video on YouTube. And IELTS wants to know what you think. So you and you only. But if you're going to talk about other people's opinion, it has to be in a way that they also at the end will serve your purpose and your opinion. So everything will be behind your own opinion. With that in mind, let's read the candidate's response. In today's first-paced world, I love this. It's a very good touch. It says, I know, IELTS, hey, I know you're going to talk about a modern thing. I understood that, and I'm touching on it, and I'm saying, yes, it's a modern, I don't know, phenomenon. It's a modern approach. Fast-paced, I would have added a hyphen here because this becomes a compound adjective. Competition is observed in almost everywhere. And the consumer market, I need a comma here because the subject is different. This one's subject is competition. The second part after and is the consumer. Two different subjects. We need a joining comma. So a comma comes before and. The consumer market seems to be no exception. That's a good phrase. While some people claim that high sales figures, pardon me, of companies express the tempting and misleading role of advertisement or advertisement. I like these two words, tempting, misleading role. You know, misleading has this negative connotation, like it leads you, but it leads you not to a good place, to a bad place. Under no circumstances would I accept, beautiful, this is inversion. Would I accept so? Would I accept so? Meaning I would definitely not accept this concept that it's the power of advertisement and assert that advertising is an inseparable part of the contemporary marketing. So advertisement is something good and also helps the consumers to make the best decisions. I would say help not the consumers because we're not talking about a specific consumers yet. We haven't defined who the consumers are. So far, everything has been generic. It's best to say helps consumers to make or make, both of them work because of help. You can say help consumers make or help consumers to make. The comes before best, the best decisions. Best is a superlative adjective. You've studied it in your course books, probably at pre-intermediate level. So this is a superlative adjective. You need to put the in the majority of cases. Not always, but in the majority of cases. I really like the introduction. It's very clear. It gives me a very good connection from the concept to the reality. I am introduced to the concept that it's a modern one. Then there are some people who believe that people buy because of this compulsive urge to buy powered by advertisements. The writer believes that's not correct. And advertisements or advertisements are the necessary part for any society, for any market, and it helps people make good decisions. Good. Let's move on. On the one hand, it's a fixed phrase. We cannot change it and say like on the one finger and on the other finger. That doesn't convey the message. You have to use the exact word with the exact sequence of, word order. That has to be observed. So we are not allowed to change and mix and play with it, especially because this is IELTS and we are doing a standard test. So it's not with a group of friends, or it's not like a movie that if you want to play with these words, then you're okay, you're fine. You just say, oh yeah, let's just play with some words and have a fun, have fun together. Not at IELTS, please. At IELTS, we stick to the standard English. On the one hand, Some people hold the opinion that advertising agencies try to convince people to buy products which do not reflect their authentic needs. Authentic. So far, I'm pleased with the vocabulary. Instead, they encourage, correctly punctuated, I mean, bravo. They encourage people to be on trend regarding every aspect of the market or every aspect of markets, from fashion to electronic devices, because there are different markets, like fashion market, electronic devices market, um, you know, just food markets, everything. These companies use various methods by which people are exposed to the latest trends constantly. They do. TV commercials, for example, are among the most effective and influential advertising procedures used by advertising agencies for consumers' constant exposure. I am saying some genre-specific words here. Look, exposure. Constant is okay, not specific, but it's a good word. Procedure is a good word, not specific, but commercials is a specific word. TV commercial is a very good collocation specific to advertisements. I'm enjoying reading every single one of these words. As a result, one thing I forgot, correct punctuation. It's correct. Consumers, plural, and then you put an apostrophe after plural S. It's correct. As a result, people's tendency to buy the newest products rises subconsciously without any real need. Oh, that's interesting. So, uh, I have something to say, but before talking about the real need here. So, what I understood from this, it says there are some people. So it's the kind of like the opposing view. That they say these advertising agencies convince people or make them convinced that these products are something they need, while in reality they actually don't need the product. And this is what they argue. That's why the last sentence says, as a result, people's tendency to buy is actually manipulated, is controlled by these advertising agencies. And they don't need the product without any real need. They don't need the product, but they're forced into believing that they actually need by advertising agencies. So the writer decided to devote one paragraph about the opposing view. It is not about the writer's opinion. The writer's opinion so far has only been addressed. So far, we are not talking about what the writer believes himself or herself. Let's see how it changes. Touching on the role of advertisement on consumers' behavior, I do not see eye to eye with the proponents, supporters, who are those claiming the negative repercussions of advertising on individuals, for one compelling justification: being informative. This is a long topic sentence. Is it bad? Generally, it might be bad because, listen to me, not 100%. Listen to me. A long topic sentence gives away a lot of information, and it's generally not good because you want your topic sentences to act as gateways. The real information comes after the topic sentence. The topic sentence just tells us that, okay, if you go through the gates in the room after that, you will see these items. Good. However, this topic sentence has two main roles. One, to cancel the previous opinion's idea by saying, I do not see eye to eye. So for the previous one, the previous paragraph in comparison with this one, I don't see eye to eye, meaning we are not on the same page. Then there's a reason. And with the proponents, who are those proponents? And then we have a definition of the proponents under or between two dashes. Now they are not hyphens, they are dashes. And they act as a bracketing comma, but they're stronger than bracketing commas. Meaning, if you are reading this part, you can totally ignore this and carry on. And the message will remain unchanged. You can only read it if you wish to get more information as a reader. So the writer is giving me this helpful hint or notes that if you wish to continue reading, go ahead, be my guest. But if you don't read it, it doesn't affect the message. And in this case, it is actually correct. So let me pack everything here. The introduction is long, but the writer believes everything you heard here is not as they say because it is simply, or it can simply be categorized under this, that they are informative. These advertisements are informative. That's it. This is a good move. And now let's see how it goes. Beyond doubt, advertising procedure was first established with the aim of informing the consumers about the contrasting choices they have. I just wish we generalizing, or we are talking about the consumers. Probably the writer wanted me to look at the consumers this time as the consumers of this. I mean, the consumers who have been influenced by advertisement. That makes sense now. Informing the consumers about the contrasting choices they have. In other words, thank you, I need more explanation, please. This introduces all the available options which can be selected by people. Okay. Following advertisements means that people are more aware of the products being purchased, their qualifications. I need another comma here called the listing comma, and characteristics. I see. So the fact that people buy is not because they act like zombies and they just mindlessly go shopping. It's because advertising companies inform people of the benefits, the characteristics, the qualifications of the product that they are purchasing, and they make an informed decision to go ahead and buy. It doesn't matter if they have a cooker in their kitchen installed, if they need an air fryer, they make a conscious, informed decision to buy an air fryer or a food maker. Although they have a fully equipped kitchen, they still need to buy these items for their homes. And that's an informed decision. Lovely. So, advertisements, I generally don't like a sentence to start with so. That's an informal way in writing. It's better to stick to words like therefore or as a result instead of so. So you can say it in speaking, of course, but not in writing. Advertisements are not only informative, but also helpful and applicable. Look at the word choice, applicable. This is smart. The writer is smart, intelligent. The writer started by saying that, yes, These companies, these advertising companies, they convince people to purchase to buy something. They go shopping and buy a certain product. But that's not bad. That's called being informative. That's called making an informed decision. And then the writer played it very well. Like we started from the opposite view, but then the writer turned the opposite view into his favor so beautifully. And now we are using the power of the opposition to serve our purpose, to serve our own opinion. This is skill. This is very good. I am happy to read such a paragraph here. In conclusion, although some may believe that publicity may raise sales figures subjectively, I find it highly appropriate, in terms of applicability. Okay, just one sentence. It's correct. The use of although is fine. This is the first, this is a reference to the first body paragraph. This is a reference to the second body paragraph. This encompasses all the things that we have talked about. It's a very good conclusion. It's only one sentence. I wish we had one more sentence to make it look like a proper paragraph. Okay. 281 words. Let's look at the band descriptors. I am happy to see this. Beautiful. The task response had one main element and it was addressed. And not just that, we also covered the opposite side and we made that opposite side support and boost our own opinion. That's skill. That deserves a 9 for task response, really. The writer's opinion was clear throughout, and it's all the elements sufficiently addressed, developed, and supported. One tiny thing. The rubric says, in the society that the advertisements are broadcast or published. That single thing, it's something that we needed to also touch on, but we went a bit too generic. It is still correct. Everything is fine. Just we could get a bit deeper into a particular society, make a particular example, and make it clearer. That's all. That's a small difference. As for coherence and cohesion, I have nothing else to say except conclusion. It wasn't a paragraph. It was just one sentence. Lexical resource, we had just a couple of really occasional errors. Like on the one hand, had a missing the, or the best was written as best. You can see that these are just vocabulary related errors and they're very occasional. We also had very occasional errors in commas. We just needed a couple of commas. They did absolutely not affect any of the messages. The communication was healthy, natural, logical. The range was wide. We had although, we had while, we had inversion, executed accurately, and we had very good control. The second body paragraph's first sentence, the topic sentence, which was long, you remember that? That was controlled very well. That shows a very sophisticated command over the English language. This is 7.5. It's a healthy 7.5. It can get to 8 very easily. This writer has the potential to write an 8-level essays. That's all. I am very happy and pleased to have read this part for you, and we have assessed it together. I hope You're inspired because you know deep inside that maybe not now, but if you practice, you will be able to send us a writing sample like this as your representative for assessment. So until then, take care.